Hello, this is Mansouri from Mansouri Immigration Firm in downtown Vancouver. I'd like to give you some general explanation and ideas about how to come to Canada as a business owner. So basically, if you have your own business in your country, if you have ideas to bring to Canada as a small business owner, whether it's in art sector, it's in sports sector, it's in high-tech, IT, it's in transportation, it's in food and agriculture, whether it's in tourism, basically any ideas that you have that you think would be viable and you can bring them over to Canada in any part of the country and have a successful business, as small as $100,000 or $50,000, depending on the case, you can think about Canada. Well, you saw during the pandemic that so far Canada was one of the best countries that supported its people, supported its small businesses. The government turned out to be, despite all the criticisms that are valid for that are around for every government, but Canadian government actually did a fantastic job. Aside from that, Canada is one of the most prosperous and safest places to conduct business. You're attached to the U.S. You have access to the full North American market, while you enjoy a lot of benefits, a lot of the lifestyle that Canada has to offer. Unfortunately, contrary to our southern border neighbors. For example, if you're an athlete or if you've been involved in athletic businesses, such as if you're a coach, if you're an athletic person, if you have had a business that was related to sports, or if you're an artist, if you think your art is of interest, if you've done well in your country, the self-employed program can obviously be a fantastic choice for you with Canada. With the self-employed program, you don't really have to show a lot of equity. You don't have to bring a business plan that suggests enormous amounts of capitalization. All you have to prove is that your talent back home was recognized either on a global stage or at home. So you're a successful actor, you're a successful artist, you're a successful painting teacher, you're a successful athletic person. You want to come to Canada, bring all of your expertise and your skills, and basically succeed here. It's a fantastic program for some people, not for everyone, for some people. It's not, what you should know here is that it's not designed for people who wish to come to Canada and hire a bunch of people and become entrepreneurs. This is for self-employed people. Another program that is extremely interesting for a lot of folks is the provincial nominee programs under entrepreneur streams. Basically, if you have a business, or if you have a business in mind, or you have had entrepreneurial experience, or if you've had a senior managerial experience from overseas, you can propose to come to Canada aligned with the criteria of each program, because Canada is a federal country and each province sets out its own regulations for intaking immigrants. So if you propose a potentially successful business that is coming to Canada to hire Canadians, at least one Canadian or a permanent resident, and is about to embark upon a business plan that is promising, seems to be able to succeed for as low as $100,000, depending on the case. Some places it starts from $150,000, some places it starts from $200,000. So basically, a lot of people can't do it. Investment-wise, capitalization-wise, you need obviously prior business experience, business ownership and management, or at least senior managerial experience in your past 10 years, if you will. And if your business plan is sound, if you're able to compete against the selection criteria, you will be approved, you will come to Canada, you will be given enough time to think about your business, do more exploration, conduct research, benefit from enormous number of free supports that are available to you as a small business owner in Canada. Basically, the whole environment will help you. You have enough time to think, conduct research, implement your business plan, and get your PR, permanent residence, after you establish your business. In the previous example, self-employed people, you arrive in Canada on your permanent residence, which can typically take a bit longer than the second example where you provide your business plan, get your approval, come to Canada as a worker. If you're married, your spouse will have a work permit, If you have children, they will go to school free of charge. In most provinces, your healthcare insurance is similar to those who are citizens here. So basically, the country will help you to settle well with your family and start your business successfully. A third example is the Startup Visa program. It's an extremely sought after and successful program, which is governed by the federal government as opposed to the previous example, which was a provincial nominee program. This third example, Startup Visa, similar to the first example, is a federal program. And in this example, you need to have a business idea that is brilliant, innovative. It's able to compete globally. You don't necessarily have to initially start competing globally, but your business has to have the opportunity, has to have the potential of one day becoming a business that is run globally. It has to either be an innovative project. Basically, it has to be the first time that you're creating an app, for example, or a robotic or something that has to do with healthcare, engineering, or education or transportation, anything of that sort. Or at least, if it's not a completely new idea, you need to have an innovative and new approach to the already existing idea of doing such business. After you have a good business plan, up to 5 people can come together. It's not usually recommended to exhaust all the 5 or the whole capacity, but the limit of the program is from 1 to 5 people can come together, come up with a business idea, and find support in Canada. So, meaning, what does support mean? There are 3 different organizations that the federal government, the Immigration Canada, has approved, already accredited, that can support you. And you need their letter of support or commitment letter. These 3 organizations are the following. The first group are called angel investors. Angel investors, as you can imagine, are smaller companies that provide funding for small businesses that are about to start in Canada. They typically like to invest in businesses that are promising. They don't have to necessarily be very conservatively planned. They have to be really exciting. If you've seen Shark Tank, if you've seen Dragon Den, you can imagine what I'm talking about. So if you have a letter of support from one of the angel companies that is willing to invest at least 75,000 Canadian dollars in your idea, then you will get their approval letter and you will use it towards your permanent residence application. Permanent residence applications typically take anywhere between 14 to 16 months. However, there is a work permit in place that you can apply for and obtain and come to Canada way faster than your PR application is processed. Typically, after you have the letter of support and you complete your application, you can get your work permit in a matter of a month or 2. And arrive to Canada and start conducting research, doing all your due diligence, take part in different roundtables, conduct meeting with government officials, with non-for-profit organizations that help you figure out your business. The second group is very similar to angels, but it's called venture capitals. Venture capitals are typically a bit larger and more powerful, and their interest sometimes is different, and it's a bit different in the ways that you can attract their attention compared to those of the angel investors. In the venture capital's example, however, you need the support letter of a commitment of at least $200,000. And the third group, which is completely different, are called incubators. Incubators sometimes act as an accelerator or act as an incubator. They're very similar. It's just different hats that they wear, but the government likes to call them incubators. Incubators typically have support and educational programs for you. They don't invest in your business as opposed to the first 2 groups. However, they commit to provide full support with you. So if your business idea is good and you attract the attention of the incubator and you satisfy them that you are able and willing and committed enough and your business idea is innovative enough that they will be able to take you under their umbrella once you arrive to Canada. Typically, their courses, their programs vary between 1 to 2 years post your arrival in order to ensure a successful start and implementation of your business plan, a successful maximization of your growth and potential revenue while working on the minimization of your costs and your overheads. Incubators and some venture capitals and some angel investors have different tastes, if you will. Some of them, for instance, only cover businesses that are about to be started in their own city or in their own province. A lot of the incubators are non-for-profit organizations, and they collaborate with different government or semi-government bodies. They often focus on development plans, for example, of that particular area. Some of them, however, on the other hand, are interested in different sectors of business. Some of them, for example, are keen on high-tech businesses, such as robotic or apps or digital marketing or digital media, whatever that has to do with IT. Some of them are extremely keen on businesses that have to do with education or, for example, tourism. A lot of them are interested in businesses that have to do with the healthcare world or with the medical world or with medical engineering world or biomedical techniques. In any event, once you have the commitment letter from either one of these three groups, you come to Canada with your partners. This is a very, very smartly designed program. It's a very intellectual program by the federal government that they are actually very proud of. That it has reduced the risk of the program being taken advantage of by crooked immigration firms abroad or by people that just want to buy their way into Canada. You basically can't try to buy your way into Canada with this program. Your intent has to be completely sincere. Your group of 1 plus up to 5 people has to be genuinely willing to become partners and work together. By the way, some of those Group 3 organizations will want you to have conducted the same idea, or at least highly similar idea, in your own country for a minimum of a year. Some of them not. It can be as little as just an idea, and you can develop it with them together. Some of them want you to have at least some market survey or market question or even a prototype at some examples. So if the business idea is good, we can help you develop your business idea. We can provide you with business consultation. We have extremely talented groups of teams of business plan writers, business strategists, business analysts, people. Our team is extremely hands-on when it comes to business immigration. And anyways, enough with the bragging. If your idea is good, you can choose between. Well, if you did fall under the self-employed program, good for you. But otherwise, if it's a business non-related to sports, if you're not an athletic person, a successful sports person, if you're not a successful artist, but you have an idea, you want to come to Canada and get the ball rolling, you basically have to get a firm and a comprehensive consultation from us and see which path, i.e., one of the province's entrepreneurial programs or the federal government's startup visa program, which one of these are suitable for you and most fits your intentions, your future needs, your business's goals, and then start coming to Canada, starting your business. I can promise Canada for a small business to a medium business is way better than most countries that you've already worked in or lived in. I'm a proud Canadian. This country has a lot to offer to small businesses. It's one of the easiest countries to start and conduct a business. And there is plenty of support from the government and non-government agencies. So you might as well take advantage. But educate yourself, get good consultation, cook your idea in your head, do good market analysis, get help in order to understand where you want. One of the biggest mistakes that a lot of potential immigrants make in coming to Canada, especially business class immigrants, the ones that are coming to start a small business, is that they focus on parts of the country that is warmer or better weather or busier or more immigrants are there, or there are like bigger hubs and bigger cities in the province or in the country. This is not necessarily a good approach to have. If you want to run a business, first you have to look at your budget, then look at your idea, then conduct research and see which areas of this huge country, being the second largest country in the world after Russia, is more suitable for your business. There is less competition. There is more likelihood of demand. There is better potential for you to implement your business in terms of transportation costs, electricity costs, labor costs, advertising costs, access to different markets depending on your product. If you have a type of product that needs to be delivered, look at transportation costs and what are the nearest ports near you, what are the nearest major cities near you that you can take advantage of in order to sell your product. Sometimes if your business is an online business and you require machinery and computers that need to be stored in a cooler place in order to spend less money on keeping your equipment cool, then you have to take that into consideration as well. If you want to do a business that is a startup, it's a good idea, but it has to do with healthcare, for example. Well, you might want to be near one of the major universities that is heavily involved in medical research and healthcare research, for instance, in order for your future collaborations and like having a better potential. If you want to get involved and have a brilliant idea about agriculture, then look at where is a better place for you to go in order to have access to a great number of farmers and agriculture businesses, and also take into consideration the potential competition that you might face in that targeted area. Anyways, I hope this information is good for starters. Obviously, there is a lot more to each of these programs, not only to each of these programs, and also to each person, each candidate, because immigration is like an amazingly huge area of law in Canada. The Ministry of Immigration and Refugees and Citizenship in Canada is one of the biggest ministries. They spend a lot of money on conducting research and analyzing data and coming up with ever-changing and ever-evolving regulations and policies. So make sure to choose the best option for you. I wish you the best of health and success, and good luck in coming to Canada.